Welcome to the True Crime Never Sleeps podcast. I'm your host, Larry Lease. Today, on another Cold Case Friday, we dive into the murder of little Rachael Runyan. But first, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Poddex, for sponsoring this episode. If you're looking to grow your audience and get more engagement, you're going to want to check out Poddex. Go to poddex.com and use the promo code Larry21 for 10% off your order. We'd also like to thank Audible for sponsoring this episode. If you're a fan of audiobooks and want to get a free audiobook of your choice, with no purchase necessary, then head on over to audibletrial.com/Larry21. And of course, as always, you can be a part of the show. Send us a voicemail at 682-305-0483. Let us know what we got right, what we got wrong, any comments you have on the current episode or previous episodes. Let us know. Give us a call today. Send us a voicemail. And now, without further ado, our main topic. The case of Rachael Runyan is disturbing. And I've learned that I should warn listeners early on of troubling subject matter, especially involving crimes against children. This is that warning. The previous episode I had for this podcast was about April Marie Tinsley, a little 8-year-old girl who was abducted, raped, and murdered in Indiana in 1988. Talking about children that are terrorized and murdered takes something out of you. It makes you realize just how shitty this world can be, or at least some of the people in it. At the same time, these cases need to be solved, and a spotlight shined on the monsters responsible for these horrifying crimes. Rachael Runyan is another little girl that came face to face with evil and didn't survive. It's cases like Rachael's that make many parents afraid to let their children out of their sight, even if it's just to play in the yard. On August 26, 1982, 3-year-old Rachael Runyan played outside of her house only about 15 feet away, while Rachael's mother, Elaine, prepared lunch. Rachael, along with her 2 older brothers, were lucky enough to live right next to a school and playground in the town of Sunset, Utah. The Runyan children took advantage of the location and enjoyed themselves before dinner. It wasn't long before a man approached a group of kids and began offering them ice cream and bubblegum. The man was able to gain Rachael's trust and, without warning, grabbed the innocent 3-year-old and threw her into his car before speeding away. Rachael's young brothers were watched helplessly. The boys immediately ran in and told their mother what had happened, and horrified, she called police. When police arrived, they quickly started the search for little Rachael. Rachael's brothers were able to give a description of the man that had taken Rachael. They would describe to police that the man was black and around 6 feet tall. He was thin and in his mid to late 20s or early 30s. He had a mustache. His car was a blue mid-sized car with distinct wood grain panels on the side. Despite the descriptions of the man in his car, no leads were quickly generated, and the immediate search revealed no signs of Rachael. 24 days later, on September 19th, 1982, a family that was on a picnic found the lifeless body of Rachael Runyan near a creek bed in a secluded area. The scene was an unimaginable one. The beautiful little blonde Rachael was nude and hogtied. Brush was haphazardly used to try and hide the body. It seems unclear as to whether Rachael was sexually assaulted, or if the police have released specific details about the crime itself. Police worked leads in the case and developed persons of interest, but no arrests were made, and the case went cold, leaving Rachael's family devastated. In 1989, the television show Unsolved Mysteries did an episode about Rachael's case, once again bringing the attention to the case that it deserved. In the episode, some disturbing things were revealed to the audience, including a police theory that Rachael may have been kidnapped and murdered for purposes of a snuff film. Another possible clue that was revealed in the episode was a message found in the bathroom of a business in the Sunset, Utah area. The message scrawled on the stall read, "Beware, I'm still at large. I killed the little Runyan girl. Remember, beware." The sinister note was also accompanied by the drawing of an inverted cross and the number 666, leading some investigators to think that the murder of Rachael Runyan may have been related to satanic ritual or occult activity. But there was nothing solid to connect this writing to Rachael's case, and it may have been nothing more than a cruel joke. It wasn't until 2011 when police got what they thought might be a big break in the case. a top suspect in the Runyan case, was arrested in Pennsylvania following an Amber Alert. The suspect had taken his 5-month-old son without permission after assaulting his girlfriend. Police were able to locate the man and his son was found to be unharmed. A quick check of the suspect revealed that he looked almost identical to the description of Rachel's abductor. He had lived in the Sunset area around the time of her murder, and a relative of his owned a car that closely matched the one that the abductor was seen driving away in. Police have stated that there is not enough evidence to charge this man with Rachel's murder. Many of us in the true crime community know this man's name and feel he quite likely is the murderer of little Rachael Runyan. I, for one, hope one day there's enough to make an arrest in Rachel's murder, whether it's this suspect or another. It's been over 30 years since Rachael Runyan's murder, far too long for her family to wait for justice. Although the Rachael Runyan abduction and murder was a horrible crime, there have been some positive things that have resulted from it. Rachel's mother, Elaine, became a staunch advocate for missing children. She was instrumental in the creation of the Missing Children of Utah organization, as a reminder to always think your child's safety. And as an honor to Rachel's memory, Utah Representative Steve Handy sponsored legislation this year that would make August 26th Rachael Runyan Missing and Exploited Children Day in Utah. Although Rachel has been gone for more than 30 years, her memory lives on, and her case is a reminder to us all to keep your children close and be wary of the monsters that live among us. Let us know your comments in the comment section below. Do you have any thoughts on what you think happened? And do you think the suspect they have that's very close to the case is the killer? Also, as always, give us a thumbs up if you like the video. Hit that bell notification button to be notified of future videos. And subscribe to the channel. I'd really love to hit, let's go 1,000 subscribers by Christmas. And of course, if you want to support the show, buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/TCNS. Your support helps the channel grow, upgrade our equipment, bring in new hosts, pay them, as well as take this show on the road and be able to stream from true crime locations, such as, the site of the Zodiac killings, or who knows, eventually Jack the Ripper locations. And your support can help make that happen. Of course, as always, thank you so much for watching and listening. We hope to see you next time.